Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava pahi mam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava Rakshamam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava pahi mam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava Rakshamam. Krishna Keshava.
The state government started Department of Science, Technology and Environment in the year 1983. I joined as a senior scientist in the department. My job was to create awareness about environment in the community. At that time, Orissa had few industries. So we thought major environmental problem affecting the state was the deforestation, next was the soil depletion, open air defecation of course, and reckless use of fertilizer and pesticide, and very rapid erosion of biodiversity in the crop. These were the major environmental issues we found at that time affecting the state. So we concentrated on these aspects. But when we talked against fertilizer and pesticide to the people, they said no, it is no more possible to grow without these things. Even the land close to the village which is otherwise fertile and may not require much fertilizer earlier, but now they also require some fertilizer and pesticide. So whatever you say, it is okay to hear, but it's not practical. Village after village, when I spoke about this, they said, yes, we know the problems we are facing because of fertilizer and pesticide, but we have to use it, otherwise our people will starve. Around that time, I read an article in a German magazine, Adult Education and Development. The magazine carried an article about organic farming being practiced in India near Pondicherry. But there is no address. But it spoke in very glowing language about the success of the farm. About the same farm, another article appeared in another magazine published from Rome, Ideas and Action. It was published by FAO. About the same farm, another gentleman wrote, and again praising very much. I thought something is happening in India and we come to know via Germany and via Italy. This is very odd. Fortunately, a full-page article appeared in the Hindu, published from Chennai, Madras at that time. And there, along with the photographs, the address of the person was there, farm was there. So immediately I wrote a letter. And he responded quickly. He said, on such and such date I am there in Bhubaneswar or such place, you can come and discuss. Then he came and I went. He said, you read from papers and you read from magazines and you discussed with me, but seeing is believing. Why don't you come and see our farm? Then we planned a visit to the farm.
This is the year 1983.
1984, 85. 83 it started, but then 84, 85 it didn't happen like that. And we requested agricultural director, horticulture, soil conservation to accompany. It is a government sponsored program. I arranged that and they all visited. We came back. Then at that time the Secretary Agriculture of the state government was Mr. K.V. Verma. He was of agricultural background. He was a BSc and he entered into civil service. I used to give him this literature whenever I used to get. And at one point he said, "Hi Professor, I am converted. You need not tell me more." It's okay. Then we sent another group of people, a group of MLAs under the leadership of P.K. Das, Prasanna Das, who was the Speaker of the Assembly. They visited. Then I came back and they said, how many people we can send from Odisha to Pondicherry to see the farm and to be convinced? We can't send all farmers there. So we should have a farm here in Odisha so that people can see and believe. So we went around scouting for land. And we didn't have much money also with us. There are some very highly fertile patches which are offered. Because I was teaching in Dhenkanal and we did some good work for people in villages. They offered 120 acres. Close to the river bank, Brahmani. There is a highly fertile patch. It is a little far off from the village. There is a community land. So uncared for, left uncared for. Then you give money or don't give money, it doesn't matter, but you take that land. As it is highly fertile. And people will say, what a great deal it is. After all, your land is fertile. You need not use fertilizer and pesticide. Organic farming can succeed here, but organic farming can't succeed in our place. So, we went round and finally zeroed in that particular patch. It was highly degraded, highly eroded. Raincoats, reels, gullies were there. Not a blade of grass was there. The top part was highly crusted, compacted. And when we saw that, we said, this is the land for experimental organic farming. We spoke with the villagers. This is all right, as it is, we are not growing anything, we are not doing anything, and they are paying rent for that, land rent. So we can take it, and the price was 500 rupees per acre.
In 85.
85, 86. And when they learned from us that we are ready to purchase, they jacked up the price to 1200 rupees per acre. So it's all right, we said yes. In the meantime, Sabarmati went to Pondicherry. Their Agriculture, Man and Ecology Foundation, AME Foundation, they are organizing international training courses on ecological agriculture. They offered a fellowship to her and she went, and it was a month-long training. She got her training there. She came back but joined Oxfam at Nagpur. We started surveying the land, what is the rainfall, other details of the area. We found that the average rainfall is half the average rainfall of Odisha, around 750 millimeters. Lowest was 400, highest was 1100. If you take the average, it is 750 millimeters maximum. With half the average rainfall of Odisha and with no soil, topsoil, then the instructors, the trainers who trained Sabarmati, we requested them to visit the place. They came. They said it is a lost case. Don't waste your energy and effort here. But the gentleman in charge of that farm, Gloria farm, which is an organic farm of Aravinda Ashram, he said, with efforts this can be a gold mine. We were little encouraged. Then we requested K.B. Verma, is it possible to pay a visit to the place we have identified a patch of land? He said, yes, why not? When will it be possible? Tomorrow? Then he rang up all director, agriculture, soil conservation and other people. And in almost a military style, he said, rallying point is my residence. Starting time 8 o'clock. Destination unknown. Report along with your second in command. That is additional director, joint director, they will accompany. At that time there was no mobile phone. And they were quite apprehensive where to go, they didn't know. The secretary will go. So, when they saw me there, they got a little encouraged, they said, where are you going? When I said to that place, They quickly contacted their field formations and they went there. So by the time we reached, quite a large number of government officials were there. And we held a meeting in the village school campus. So many people with vehicles they have come. So people heard, they were quite polite also, they didn't ask many questions. But one gentleman who was the president of the school, he stood up. You know, whatever you say, it looks nice, it sounds nice, but it is impossible. Ye asambhav. We say, no, it is possible, ye sambhav. That is the way we gave the name,
Sambhaav.
Sambhaav. It is possible. And later on we sent that person to from Pondicherry. He also returned quite convinced. Thereafter he made it a point to visit the place early morning and yes, what is to be done, what is not to be done, he used to advise us. So slowly we started buying land and then about the fencing, we said yes, bamboo fencing, we didn't have money or any other thing. We raised the seedlings there itself. Then we adopted all possible, as a first step, soil and water conservation measures. Vegetative bunding where slope is mild, then earthen bunding where the slope is little bit, gradient is little more, is more slopey. Then water harvesting structure was constructed and we wanted to put as a cover crop so that with rain, whatever little is there that is not washed away. All variety of leguminous crops we put and they cover the soil, they cover the land. Then we decided to match crops with soil capability. So the upper part was highly eroded, so we tried to put timber species, forest species. And the other objective was, once the trees grow, there will be a lot of leaf shedding and the soil will gradually be built up and that will absorb water. That will release water slowly to the crops which will be grown, say, in the downstream, towards the lower part. Then we put a number of, for bond protection, number of trees, leguminous trees. Besides that also some valuable timber species like teak. The first year passed. The second year, it was a very unusual year. It was in the year 1990. Unusual in the sense, from 15th of February, almost every week, there is a heavy shower. It is very unusual. So here and there, grass started colonizing. And our water harvesting structure became full with water. When grass started colonizing here and there, we were totally surprised. And we have not seen those grasshoppers earlier. With the printed wings, large grasshoppers they arrived. And quickly, frogs multiplied in the tank. The frogs devoured and digested the insects. And equally quickly arrived the snakes. And people told us, you created habitat for the snakes, grass, and you provided food, the frogs. So why are you regretting now that there are so many snakes? And luckily nature helped us. A few wild mongoose arrived from the neighboring forest. And in fact one mongoose stayed with us. They effectively controlled the reptiles. We became a little assured. We could see how nature has recreated within a span of hardly 1 or 2 years. The entire food chain was created, was established. Thereafter we thought that we need not use any pesticide, either chemical or even bio, once you allow the prey-predator relationship to be fully established in the farm, you need not use any chemicals or any pesticide. Gradually water stayed, and the grass here and there, we cut the grass and put on the barren patches where there is no grass. When the grass started drying up, white ants in millions, they arrived, they started boring tunnels, consuming the dry grass and started boring tunnels. They facilitated water infiltration and also aeration. And whenever a bird used to travel, fly over it, in the droppings, some seeds dropped. Earlier it was just thrown away by water or blown away by air. Now they got trapped, seeds got trapped in the grass. And with a little moisture, they started growing. That way encouraged us. The nature is recreating itself. So with love and care, we saw in our own eyes how nature recreates itself. That process continued, and as a matter of with our concern for protecting or promoting biodiversity, we planted a variety of forest species, forest trees. Then we planted in the lower part deep-rooted plants and horticultural crops like mango, jackfruit, or near the bound coconut, lemon, guava. See, a variety of food crops we tried. And to our utter surprise, we don't know how, but then we got a very good yield. Guava, very good quality guava plants we selected, we planted. We were selling 3 rupees to 4 rupees a kilo at that time in the local market. We used to get 60 to 80,000 rupees from 4 to 5 acres. And today, anything between 25 to 30 rupees, our revenue becomes zero because that has become an ideal habitat for monkeys. And even wild deers, they came and they made it their home.
For monkeys, you can have langur. You can keep pet langurs, they will drive away the monkeys.
Both langurs and both of them are there. Both of them are there. So that is not, it is a myth. We tried, Down to Earth magazine carried an article that some people in Bangalore, they have developed a device. It will make a noise. That is, a tiger is coming, then caught hold of a monkey, the shrieks, the screams, the cries of the monkeys, and then it killed finally, and the entire thing has been recorded. You just switch on, and then monkeys will be afraid and they will leave the farm.
Right.
And we purchased that. He came and demonstrated. For 2-3 months it worked. Thereafter monkeys could see that there is no tiger. It's all fake. So they didn't bother about that. Right? And much of our energy is spent in driving monkeys from the farm. Vegetables we tried, and varieties of vegetables, and some exotic crops also have introduced, like mangosteen, avocado, snake fruit, breadfruit, even cloves. When clove plant is coming up well, dragon fruit we have introduced, pak choy, another Chinese that we introduced. Some crops from Philippines, Thailand also have introduced. These are coming out. We are yet to see the results. Then over to paddy, with great difficulty we have to carve out hardly 2 acres, 2.5 acres, less than 2.5 acres of land. With great difficulty from the ravines, from the deep gullies, we carved out that land. Because unless you prove that organic farming succeeds, in case of rice, you don't prove anything for the people. So, we spent a lot of energy, a lot of effort to conserve the land. And gradually we collected local varieties, indigenous varieties, which were lost from different parts. And there are some varieties which are so promising. The result is so surprising. One variety particularly gives 11 tons per hectare. And Lu Sun, the father of hybrid rice of China, he thinks he could raise productivity to 14 tons per hectare for hybridization. Without any hybridization, in that rocky moron soil, entirely through organic manner, local variety gave us 11 tons per hectare. But we could have put all the land under that particular variety. But our objective is to introduce as many varieties as possible, so we don't know which variety will be useful in which way in the future. We found there are many varieties with high yield and very scented varieties also. Around more than 50 varieties are scented, and some scented varieties are also high yielding. We have a rice, it contains 2 grains. The paddy contains 2 grains inside it. We have rice which is black. The color is black, black rice, kala bhat. So very interesting varieties are there. Total mango, we have 60 varieties, more than 60 varieties of mango. Choicest varieties of the country. And some local varieties like elephant's head.
It's a rice variety.
No. Mango.
Mango variety, elephant's head.
Mango varieties.
Big.
Hatimundia says Hatimundia. Dahi handi.
60 varieties are all Odia varieties or they are from all over India?
From all over India.
You also have Alfonso?
Some, yeah,
Alfonso,
yes,
Kesar and all.
yes. All the choicest.
As per your soil, Kesar will come out very good.
Choicest varieties of the country are there. Besides, local varieties are also collected. Similarly, sapeta or lime. We have a lime variety which weighs nearly 2 kg. One lime.
What is the variety called?
Variety called.
What is the name of the variety? Technical name, any?
What is your name?
My name? Gajanand agarwal.
Gajanand ji, you have to make several trips to the place so that we give all our secrets.
Technical name.
All our secrets.
I am trying to copy paste your form. Since you have already worked on it, so I don't need to work so much. I can just, mimic the nature.
You will see. We tried in the upper part of the farm, we tried to imitate nature. And we emphasize on non-violence as far as possible. The birds feel so confident. At this very small height they have their nest. Now peacocks have arrived. Peacocks. Earlier, peacocks used to come in the month of July, lay their eggs, and with the hatchlings, they used to leave by December. But they made it a home now, made it their home, and they are, at least 5 of them have stayed with us. Variety of wildlife now. Deers, monkeys, of course.
We just need tigers.
The next thing is and on 2 occasions elephant visited.
Elephants?
Elephants. They took their bath in the tank. They took their bath, they didn't do any damage. And they left.
The 7th number tank?
Sorry?
The tank which is on the 7th number. 7th tank.
No, the lowest point.
That is the 7th number, right?
No.
The lowest one, yeah.
It was a full at that time. So they took their bath.
That area has a lot of elephants?
No, some neighboring forests are there. So 2 elephants just on 2 occasions in the last more than 25 years.
Okay, it's a rare event.
Passed through, took bath, When you ask the forest department people, they said they have a long memory. Maybe 60 years back they were, or 40 years back
They must have enjoyed the bath.
That is, he said like this. Right.
Sir, what is the impact in this neighboring area?
Neighboring area people, first they disbelieved. They dismissed us. A group of crankies, mad people. We couldn't grow millets, finally we abandoned the lands. And now they say so many things will grow and without using any external input. No fertilizer, no pesticide. Unless they are mad, they want to say this, like this. So they dismissed, they watched us from a distance. Few years passed, when gradually they saw mango size and the crops, then disbelief. There are still some people who are questioning, but then gradually disbelief is left and envy came. Now they become jealous and envious. Arey, what happened? We gave these people land at 1200 rupees per acre, now they have converted to this. And the gentleman who said, Manindra Pal from Pondicherry, with efforts this can be a gold mine, he visited. He is no more. After a few years he visited the farm. He said, Dada, we said it would be a gold mine, but we have made it a diamond mine. He was very encouraged with the progress we made. So slowly, now people, more and more people are showing interest. And interestingly, it is the laborers who have very few
Small lands.
small patches, they converted themselves to organic. This is a good thing. The taste is so good.
Yeah, I mean it's very important that people who are working for us, they mimic their own spaces also.
Yeah.
Because I have seen so many gurus, their laborers, are not practicing in their own house. They just do because they are paid for that. They are practicing. Like I know one of the top gurus here in farming, whose laborers are in their farms. They use chemical.
No,
But
in
they
our
work
case,
on their but your case, yeah, we are doing because you have made it very simple. The idea is simplicity, because if you make the whole process complicated, it is very difficult.
no, we might have seen that we are not using any capital intensive technology. It is all labor intensive, which is available to the poor people in the village. That only we used. We didn't have this irrigation, drip irrigation, or this, that. The local way of conserving water and allowing water to flow into the root zone of the
It's based on design system.
design system. Yes.
Do you use permaculture methods
Yeah,
in this? Or you did your own method and then you learned permaculture?
No, permaculture we built Malaysian, we purchased 500 copies. For distribution among the Mr. Burma, when I showed Malaysian's book.
You had an Odia version or English version that time?
English version at that time.
Oh, 500 just to your friends?
Yes. No, government purchased.
Oh, government purchased?
When I showed the book to agriculture secretary, he said, this is a wonderful book. Let him buy 500 copies from Deccan Development Society at that time was publishing that. We were placed order for each copy was cost 500 rupees, but there is no money for the government. I said, yes, sometime, some person, if he reads this book and gets inspired,
He will start his own forest.
and I will think my money is well spent. That is said. And ordered 500 copies, 364 blocks, and then DRDA's agriculture officers, he distributed permaculture.
Which is it, which year?
That was in, it could be 86, 87, something like that.
So that was one of the inspirations behind all these things. For you
Yes,
also?
permaculture. We invited, while I was in the Department of Science, Technology and Environment, we invited Fukuoka. Fukuoka, you might have known, one-star revolution, this is natural farming. He was a special guest in the Indian Science Congress that year, 1988. When I found found in the newspaper that he was coming. I wrote a letter to the organizer of the event or the person who was coordinating his visit. Initially he said no, there is no time for him, absolutely totally packed. But when I pestered him with letters, finally he relented and he gave 3 days for us.
You
Fukuoka.
visited your site?
Sorry?
You visited your land or
No, he couldn't go.
just visit your...
We have not purchased that land at
No,
88.
okay.
We just started. 88.
So you had a good foundation.
Fukuoka, he addressed all members of the faculty members, Agriculture University, OUT. Then he addressed CRRI people, Katak, and there is a general meeting in Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan at that time. His analysis was very simple. He is a Buddhist. Non-violent agriculture is a non-violent agriculture. He said, all of us, we need a healthy body, healthy mind. Healthy body, healthy mind we can have from healthy food. Healthy food we can get from healthy crops. Healthy crops we can get from healthy soil. And we cannot have a healthy soil by poisoning it with chemicals, fertilizer and pesticide. This logic is very simple and irrefutable. And soil is very, very much a living thing. It is not an inanimate thing, soil is very much a living thing. He used to say, take a spoonful of a highly fertile soil. The total population, bacterial population will exceed the total human population of the world. A spoonful of
Soil.
fertile soil will contain more bacteria than the total human population. It is very much a living thing.
I want to just comment here. One of my friends, he's a soil scientist. So he told me one interesting thing. What is the full form of soil? He said, source of infinite life.
Yes. Source of infinite life.
Sir, initially the government were taking all the initiative, as you are telling, in setting up that path. Now, what is
Government
the
was not
course?
taking initiative. It all depends on
Yeah.
one person, 2 persons.
Brahma,
K.B. Verma, and then later on Meena Gupta. She became agricultural secretary. When she visited, she was so inspired, she wrote to all Gram Sevak Talim Kendras, all district officers to visit Sambhaav. And all Gram Sevak Talim batches, all batches, who will attend these training institutes, they must visit the farm. That order was passed. That was the way they supported us in the beginning. And for the last 25 years we have not accepted any money either from the government or foreign money. We are doing it with our own resources. So the dining hall which you saw, it took 5 years to complete that with money. Slowly. We said, let us grow like trees. Trees grow imperceptibly with roots going deeper and gradually it cannot be grown. So we will grow like that. We grow like a tree, slowly, steadily, surely.
Did you make this with the income which you were having here or with your own personal savings? From other
Initially we invented personal savings, buying land and making taking small activities. But now it is on its own. Supposing we purchased 50 ଆପଣ ସେବା ଥିବ ଦେଖିଥିବେ ଝିଅ ତ ଶୁନେଇଗଲା କାହିଁ ନିଜ କଥା କ'ଣ ଆମର କ'ଣ ଲାଜ କଥା ଅଛି ଏଥିରେ bedsheets or pillows. So we said, yes, this is my contribution. Or we will buy some utensils, this is our contribution. Many friends have also, they have made small contributions.
Right now, this is a general question I'm asking. I don't know if you want to, if you remember also. How much is the net income after all the expenses paid right now in this place?
You see, we have not kept any record of that. Just as a farmer doesn't keep record. How much he has invested and how much he got, what is the profit. He doesn't do that. But because it is a registered society, so we have to have a balance sheet.
Your audit also?
Audit for audit also, balance sheet and audit. So that we have to do.
So, like...
on by, because you see...
You might have some rough idea.
That I will tell. You see, our activities are not restricted to the farm itself. Although we are not receiving any funds from anybody.
No, you are doing charity,
Yes,
some kind
small,
of charity.
yes.
Like
In the neighboring
supporting
villages.
the labours.
Yes, neighboring villages. Supposing it is a small patch, Sambhaav we have seen, 10-12 kilometers from Sambhaav. It is a beautiful, fantastic forest,
Okay.
natural forest, that has come up in the last 25 years. All of the people to support. It was in the year 1990. We went around some villages, we saw a beautiful forest, natural forest, but the roots are being taken out by the villagers for fuel. And I said, the roots should be there so that new shoots will come. So we had a Padajatra in 17 villages, cutting across few panchayat boundaries, even block boundaries, constituency boundaries. 17 villages surrounding that particular patch, they gathered together on the closing days of Padajatra, 21st and 22nd April 1990. 22nd April was observed as World Earth Day. In a mango grove, people from 17 villages, they gathered together, they sat. They said, enough is enough. From tomorrow onwards, the patch is protected. They protected the patch, and such a fantastic natural forest has come out. It is a feast for the eye.
How many acres is that?
You see from horizon to horizon almost. It is more than 1500 acres, but it is a continuous lowland
12
forest.
kilometers from your Sambhaav land.
Yes, yes.
So you are taking care of that also?
We are not taking, people are taking, we initiated.
But
Now-
it is not people's property, like it is general society's property.
It is people's property.
In the sense like Sarpanch, like the
No,
village,
no,
privilege
villages.
like people own small patches in that?
They don't own, the community owns.
No, village owns.
Yes, village owns.
So village property is so they have like something like Sambhaav is coming up.
Yes, and every year, each village will go to a particular tree, close to it, will offer their worship. Jungle or Punarjanma, rebirth of the forest, they observe every 22nd April.
Interesting.
Right? And
We should cover that also.
yes, and the people coming from Ganjam, there is a weekly market, Bahadura is a large weekly market. People from neighboring Ganjam district, they come, and they come via that particular patch. After 3-4 years, when they saw the plants are coming up so densely and so well, they invited some more people. They say, if we say village to the villagers, they won't listen to us. You organize a Padajatra there and you did it. Kindly come to our villages. So we had a 10-day Padajatra there also.
Okay.
And 10 villages joined hands there.
Interesting. This is which year you did this?
That was the first was 1990, second was 94, 94. Then, seeing the result of this forest, 22 villages, they gathered in a neighboring temple, Shiva temple. The same agricultural secretary was there, K.V. Verma was there at that time. He also went there. He was the Panchayat Raj secretary at that time. And they used to give money to forest department for plantation. Under NREP, RLG, various employment generation programs. Out of 122 villages they sat together, 19 villages then and there declared that from tomorrow onwards our hill is protected. 3 villages were a little large, divided, highly divisive. They couldn't take a decision there, but 19 villages decided to protect their patch. Now you will find a continuous patch of few kilometers, hills, totally protected by the villagers. That is much more rewarding. It's a small patch where we are trying our
This is a model, you can
It's
say.
a model, but those people who have taken over the initiative and now they are protecting with all zeal. That is worth recording and that is worth say, mentioning different places. You know, I read a story. It happened to answer Maheshwar Babu's question. This experiment was being conducted in Japan in the 1950s. A group of scientists from different disciplines, they conducted the experiment in different islands. The Japanese macaque or the monkeys, they like sweet potatoes. So in one island, they used to cut sweet potatoes and spread on the sand. So monkeys will come, sand gets mixed up with the sliced sweet potato, but they are taking it. It is really inconvenient for them, but they are taking it. On one occasion, one monkey was taking, another monkey rushed. So it ran away and it went to the neighboring stream. In the neighboring stream, it fell from its hands to the water. So the sand got washed away and the best part of the sweet potato slice remained unattached with the sand. And when it took it, it found it quite convenient. So next time it is a female monkey, she will go and wash it and then take it. And when one monkey after another saw that, then finally all monkeys went and washed and took the sweet potatoes. Then, when the last monkey joined, that is the 100th monkey, 100th monkey joined, a strange phenomenon happened. What is that strange phenomenon? All monkeys in other islands, they started doing the same thing. Which means, he said, the experiment concluded, when a critical number of people believe in one thing or they act in one way, it immediately produces a cascading effect, a spread effect. Is that clear? Huh? Only when the last monkey joined, it produced a wave. When the communism broke, one after another communist countries, they changed in East Europe. First it started with Hungary, then quickly one after another it collapsed. And finally Soviet Union collapsed. So this year, the present Secretary of Agriculture was there on that particular day. He was getting so much excited. A sarpanch around 30 kilometers from our place, he was there at that time. He collected 120 different kinds of indigenous varieties of paddy. Say, I will experiment in my panchayat. Then one village, one among those 17 villages with the protected forest, they took few seeds of one particular variety, and now we are prepared to give 200 bags of that variety did so well. Another village, few people took some varieties. It is so much preferred by the local people. Per kilo rice in village, they are selling 70 rupees. And we wanted some. They said, no. Oh, there is so much demand for this rice, we can't provide you. You find your way. Huh? So, Danjimandra road ka sikar aga? Huh? I'm a 70 tonar bikuchu,
He brought some rice today.
Is it?
Bass books.
So, we are waiting, we are watching. And you will see, just on one day, on early morning, fine morning, or some day, there will be such a rush. Yes. Now people will all crave for this.
Cascading effect.
Cascading effect. Spread effect.
Yeah, that's the thing. You keep eating and eating and eating.
Oh,
and one day,
finally, the wall will break.
Yeah.
Wall of resistance
it's very interesting, the whole journey.
Yes,
you
it's a journey,
experienced.
yes, very interesting journey.
It's an interesting journey of training people, sharing your ideas, going to
And every
villages.
year nearly 4,000 people, 2 to 3,000 people they come for a training exposure.
Your farm.
Yes. This year government itself is planning to send 4,000 people for training. More than 80 batches, 50 each for 3 days.
Decision ହେଲା କରିବ
Huh.
and there is a decision that the government will implement the organic farming.
Do you know, Gajanand ji, when in the year 88 I wrote 3 articles in a serial, Sambhaav carried those articles. Bishaku Kahilu Oso. What really is a poison, we called it a medicine. Pesticides are called medicine by the villagers. So, Bishaku Kahilu Oso. 3 articles appeared in the newspaper. At that time, government policy was to promote fertilizer and pesticide. I was working as in the Department of Science, Technology and Environment. 2 articles appeared then, and I got transferred to Education Department as Deputy Secretary. The final article appeared then. Then the Chief Secretary at that time said, who is that fellow who is writing against the government policy? And when he learned that I am working as Deputy Secretary, Education, proceed against him, suspend him. Right. Luckily, the Secretary to CM, the Secretary to, or the Chief Minister himself, they are very favorable. They said, no, it's all right. He has the freedom to write, let him write. People have a choice, they may use, they may not use.
You were saved.
Yes.
Because they were favorable. Yeah. Nice. See, I will travel through a lot of villages and also try to do my little way of sharing ideas, similar thoughts with people. You know, the problem today is people who want to work on land, they don't have land. People who cannot work on that land, they have too much land.
Yes.
That's the problem.
That is the problem.
That today, cow is hungry, but there's so much land, and not so many cows, but cow is hungry, and the grass is also growing in those lands, but they are not allowed to be there. So it's a injustice, you can say,
Yes,
because of
of course.
the power of money. So what I try to do is I at least tell my friends who are rich, who have lot of land, you do something little bit so that the grass you can grow.
Yes.
So at least the cows can eat, And again, they because they are money minded, I have to give them some calculations. Okay, this much, put this much grass will come and this much, some calculation so that they can get into some kind of process in that.
Supposing that reduces some blood pressure, because I get so much of satisfaction, the very sight gives me satisfaction. My blood pressure remains constant, stable and
Stable, yeah.
Yes. That itself, that's a source of satisfaction, a source of income for you. Instead of taking pills every day or visiting doctors.
I will tell you my experience. I am personally from, I belong to a business class family. We manufacture cloth.
You are from Mumbai?
Mumbai. So we manufacture cloth. I am a Marwadi, but we manufacture cloth. It's a 30-year-old, 40-year-old business. But when I came into this industry, this whole idea of ecology, I left everything what I have. Like it's with my parents are taking care of it. And when I entered into this field, I was commercial. Like I didn't want to be commercial, but I was attracted in a different way. But I wanted to be clear about the commercials, and I did my research on that lines. And over the years, now I have all the commercials with me. I know if I do this much, I can grow this much. In fact, I have more than 20,000 WhatsApp followers on mobile. One of them is making 1 lakh per day per acre in organic farming. And that is the highest earner I know, and who's also accepting our advice, and we are sharing things. So now I don't really have so much interest on commercials. I'm doing more on the ecology part. Yes. Because gradually, if you are in a street shop, then you will get, tired of sweets. That kind of thing. That Now commercial is not the goal. I'm in the same mood as you right now.
Grandson of, as you said, you are tired of this, tired of matters. Now you want an escape from this.
Ultimately, see, what I am seeing is that same thing, that commercials are to attract people so that they don't feel insecure. But ultimately, I know it with my own experience that they will not want commercial at one point when they will actually get into it. So most of my followers who are doing this, they joined me, learning process, they have no interest in farming. Because of the commercials, they think this guy is doing something and we have to work on it and check it out. And then, so I always try to figure out what is the commercial of wherever we are going.
It's all right. It's all right. You know, one Dutch lady was there in our farm. We were moving together in the morning. She said, "Hi, Professor, you have such an expensive plant in your garden." Anantamuro. এই ছেলেটা বাসনা হয় না তারা the root bark, they get an extract which is used in, for
Cancer.
No, that is not for cancer. That is used for ice cream, to give the essence, natural essence. Because the essence of chemical essence was found to causing cancer, so now they are substituted by this. So actually we don't know which plant will be useful to us in which way.
Who can keep the track?
সদাবিহারী ফুল এই যে ক্যান্সার কথা কହୁছি সদাবিহারী ফুল তার রুট বার করু a very powerful anti-cancer drug, vincristine, has been developed.
You are keeping track of all the harvesting, what is happening? Like something is there, some system is there? Right?
I am not for those things. I am basically visionary. Those nitty-gritties, other things, they are left to them. I visualize, I dream, this should be done, that should be done. We will do like this, that.
I could see that your farm at least can become a very good nursery point of view.
Yes.
Like instead of selling in the market, you just make seeds.
Yes, seedlings.
And through my website also we can promote them. And worldwide, whoever wants.
So BBC gentleman was there 2 days back. He said, I visited many countries, Asia, Africa, but I am yet to see such a farm. It's okay, you might not have seen no more better farms. There could be many better farms. But then he started talking, why don't you patent this, why don't you patent that, why don't you earn more money?
Commercial.
Commercial.
No, it's a good. Basically, it's more of the philosophy.
Yes.
It's more on the philosophy base, and which makes it much better for people to receive it.
Right.
People, when they come there, they don't feel as a commercial environment. More
yes, right.
Philosophy which attracts them. And with the philosophy, that is the attitude, we can make such a farm anywhere in the world.
Right.
It's not the seed there, or the way it is planted, more in the philosophy, is what I understand. With my vision there.
Yeah, you are perfectly right. When I went to Bangalore to collect some seeds, they said, why don't you make a profit out of it? What is the scale? I said, we are not for profit.
After visiting your farm, I was thinking, like we have this 1,000 acres near Puri in Brahmagiri. I was thinking to invite many organizations like yours and to give them a batch, and they can replicate their farms, mini nature there, and we can have thousands of such,
Yes.
organizations, and it's like a festival, like.
How is actually a spiritual thing. When you eat, as Fukuoka said, food has to be grown non-violently, so that you become non-violent. If food is grown violently, killing this, killing that, killing this organism, that organism, then that violence enters into our body and we tend to be violent.
Yeah, even in ISKCON, when we cook food, we put Hare Krishna mantra, or we chant, like somebody is chanting, so that the consciousness of the person who's cooking,
yes,
that comes in the food. So it is everything is based on consciousness. Even your farm is based on the consciousness of people, how they are behaving, treating, attitude, how they are, that whole, your identity is coming there, how they talk to you. I really appreciated Namitaji and the other people who are there.
That's the story, Sudama's story. Sudama went with a flattened rice. But there is so much of love behind it.
That Krishna didn't want to give, eat everything.
And when Duryodhana offered a fabulous feast, he went to Vidura's house.
Krishna is looking for love.
Yes.
So
So you
it's a-
serve something with love. That tastes much better.
Yeah. Very nice.
No,
Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Pahima, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava Rakshama, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Mahima, Rama Raghava, Rama